Imagine some of the worst neighborhoods in America. I'm talking abandoned buildings, blighted towns, divestment and decay, crime, toxic waste, you name it. This neighborhood had it. I'm talking, of course, about the Dudley Street neighborhood, and then in the 1980s had over 1,300 vacant lots and blight in the area. Many of those locations were the result of landlords and property owners simply abandoning or even intentionally burning down their buildings for insurance money or arson for profit. The neighborhood became Boston's unofficial dumping ground. Trucks would drive in, unload trash and construction debris, and drive out. Kids grew up next to mountains of waste and burned out shells of buildings. So due to redlining, banks and the city withheld investment from predominantly Black, Cape Verdean, and Latino community. No mortgages or business loans were granted, and infrastructure fell apart. There were some urban renewals, which resulted in total failures. The mid-20th century attempted urban renewal by the Boston Redevelopment Authority by demolishing homes, displacing families into nearby neighborhoods. While they promised to invest in the Dudley Street area, it received little to none. What remained after the renewal project was just abandoned and fragmented neighborhood. This, of course, resulted in high crime and lower services. Public services were underfunded or absent, and residents found themselves living in unsafe conditions. Streetlights didn't work, no playgrounds, and basic services like garbage collection were unreliable. This place had everything against it, and there was little to no hope that there would be recovery of any kind. But nowadays, this horrible neighborhood now looks like this. So what the heck happened? How do we go from a toxic waste nightmare crime-ridden dump into a wonderful neighborhood any of us would enjoy living in? Incoming DSNI, or the Dudley Street Neighborhood Initiative. A man by the name of Nelson Merkt worked on Dudley Street as a director of La Alianza Hispana, a nonprofit which advocated for success within the Hispanic community. At the time, the Dudley Street neighborhood was populated by many impoverished Hispanics, African Americans, Jews, and other minorities who couldn't afford to live elsewhere. Merck began looking for funds to renovate the La Alianza Hispana building in spring of 1984 when he reached out to the Riley Foundation, which provides grants for inner-city organizations. Merck hoped that he could give the Riley Foundation trustees tours of the Dudley Square in order to gain support for improving the area. From there, the Riley Foundation began talking to residents about supporting a new kind of community-driven planning. They offered seed funding for residents to lead their own revitalization effort. The idea being, instead of city officials or outside developers deciding the future of these residents, why not the people who live there? Dozens of community meetings and listening sessions were held to gather input from residents, local youth, the local clergy, business owners, schools, and nonprofits. The goal was to create inclusive participation across racial and cultural lines. From this, a broad-based coalition was formed. The DSNI was officially launched in 1984 with resident support and help from the Riley Foundation. To empower Dudley residents to revitalize, develop, and take control of their neighborhood, ensuring development would benefit the community rather than displace it. DSNI began organizing cleanups, rallies, and planning sessions and pressuring the city to stop the illegal dumping and provide services. By 1988, their organizing and unity led the city of Boston to grant them eminent domain power over 1,300 abandoned lots. It was a landmark victory. What I find so palpable about this story is that through community-built efforts and direct investment, it is and has been proven to reduce poverty in poverty-stricken places, a concept which has proven itself pervasive throughout the United States in countless cities and towns. I posit to you, should we invest and help our local communities downtrodden in life, often marred by the scars of redlining? We could turn economic losses and humanitarian disasters into economic boons. There is no reason any neighborhood should exist in the United States when we have the tools necessary to cure those in destitute poverty. But what do you all think? Leave a comment down below and see if this project is scalable or not. If you like what you have heard, consider subscribing to my channel. I'm a really small YouTuber, and even one sub is big for me. Thank you all and have a great day.